reason why I want to do this meeting today, because there's a lot of things coming our way, and I want to make sure that we're prepared for the change that's coming now and in the future, right? Who like change? Raise your hand. Whoa, you guys are some Spartan, right? Because most people don't. At least the change that they don't want, right? What I found though is that when it comes to change, that's the one thing that's guaranteed in life. You know, change happens, and good people, successful people find a way to adapt and even embrace that and leverage it, right? So the funny thing about life is that we always have bigger goals. You guys are right now conditioned to think bigger, right? I had Gio this last night just text me, you know, how can we find a way to make $2,000 sales, right? And you know, every goal is not that it's impossible, but every time you seek stuff like that, like for example, you want to buy a house, or you want to leverage yourself, you want a better future, a brighter vision of what the future is, or your better self. What do you think the price of that is? Dre, what do you think the price of that is if you want more?
Then you'll strive and get what you're achieving. I think it's just in our human nature to always want more and not settle.
Yes.
In everybody.
Yes. What is the price of that though? I feel like sometimes too much, right? But it's true. Guys, the bigger the vision, you got to remember, something I have to remind myself is, sometimes I get frustrated, right? Because we're like, okay, we got to be here in 3 months, and then we don't see it. We don't get it, and then we get disappointed and wonder why. How come all these problems? We should have been there already. Well, guys, the bigger the goal, the bigger the challenge. You got to embrace it. That's the facts. You know, the truth is, if you want bigger and better, what you're really asking is, give me the problems. Give me all the things that I need to fix, all the pain that I need to endure, because that is the only way to get there, right? Like, for example, you know, like this pandemic was an eye-opening thing, right? I always pray to have time to be present with my family, to connect with my kids, to have meaningful conversation with my wife, right? Then the pandemic happened. Now we got to deal with how to handle, you know, meeting with people, connecting with people. And then all this sets of problem occurs. How many of you guys feel that way about what happened last year? That wasn't the plan. The plan was to grow. The plan was to like level up, and all of a sudden a pandemic happened. But you know, when I'm reflecting back, right, that's exactly what I asked for. It was exactly what I needed. I want a meaningful conversation with my wife. I got one. And the conversation wasn't what I would want. The conversation was, hey, where are we going to travel to? The conversation wasn't like, how can we grow in love? The conversation was, dang, my in-law is very rigid. They don't want to go and see anybody because they're fearful. And then my family is like open, and nothing will stop them from seeing everyone. That's a meaningful conversation. We need to iron that out. You guys feel me? Because we grew because of that. Like, I understand exactly what the challenge is and how our family thinks that are different. And that is a meaningful conversation. That actually, you know, in the process of it, it was hell, but going through it forged a stronger relationship. And as time for my kids, it was automatic, right? The reason why I would bring this up is because I think that I gotta do a better job presenting the opportunity to you guys. And here's what I mean by that. You know, we talk a lot about the big pictures and how much you'll make, 2 G's a day, 2 G's a sell, millionaires, even billionaires, right? Those things are all achievable. You know, believe me when I say it is achievable. And believe me when I say, and you can choose to believe me or not, but this is the facts, guys. Each and every one of you guys have the ability, the resource, and the mindset to get what you want out of life. But it comes with a price. And you got to embrace that, because I think a lot of people, they have this vision and this grand goals, and then as they're going through it, and then this obstacle come about, and I truly believe that's God's way of saying, do this and you'll get that. Right? I said, I want a meaningful relationship with my family and my wife. I want to go deeper. And he says, handle this, because when you go through this, you will get that. You guys understand what I mean? Raise your hand if you do. Right? So we're asking for a big price of a life. When you guys agree, do you guys have a big why? Put an emoji up or something, you have a big why. A compelling desire to win. You must do this for yourself, for your family. There is no options other than this. Put an emoji up. Awesome. Even put out, right now, take a few minutes, put out the big whys now, like you must do this. When you die, if you were to die, this must happen. Put it on your chat right now. I want to see. I want to be reminded of the powerful goals and the reason why you're here. Just one. Travel to Europe, build my dad a house in Mexico, rent a house, buy a Lamborghini, be financially free, right? I said one. Who said that? They put like four, right? Who else?
That was me. Sorry for that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just want. That's what your heart desire, you know? Financially stable, established for my son and future, funding my future, buying a ring for my girl. There we go. Same as Tyler. Create a lasting legacy. Oh, I love that one. That's dear to my heart. First, we gotta figure out what that legacy is, right? That was actually the challenge. Cool. Prove to myself. Buy a house. Cool. So we got a lot of house and things like that. Perfect time to buy a house, by the way. I truly think that the real estate market is gonna go crazy. Buy a house with like 4 to 5 bedroom, because you know working from home is gonna be the norm for a while. Cool. All right. So now that we remind ourselves of that, let's talk about the challenge that we have to figure out. Right. So one of the challenge, I just be transparent with you guys, is we had to go to 4X this year. Right. It's March. It's April now. A quarter have passed. You know, are we on the process to 4Xing in terms of the numbers? In terms of the numbers, no. Right. But have we grown? Yes. We have grown. Last month actually marked the highest sales month on AT&T to date. We had a 30% growth. Last month is also the second biggest month we've had in the entire company in 6 years. Right? But to be honest, I wasn't happy. I think a lot of the core partner wasn't, because our goal was like 4X. And all we were focusing on is all these problems that arise as we're trying to pave the way. How do you guys kind of relate to that as you're trying to hit team leader or partner? Why am I keep losing people? And geez, why can't a guy just stick? What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with me? What's going on? How many of you guys can feel that way right now? Right? It's normal, guys. But I was reminded of on the call yesterday, I was at a Visage member. I'm a part of this Visage group where we collectively meet once a month with 10 CEO in the LA County area. And we were talking about change and what to anticipate when it comes to change. And I think one of the things that we are not mindful of is that when we want bigger things and we want to move forward, change will happen. And actually change have a curve. You know, as change happen, it starts here and then it dips down to like this confusion and sorrow and depression here, because, you know, although we know change is needed and a lot of you guys embrace change, there's a process where you actually have to make peace with the change, you know, And a lot of us have to make peace with what we need to do to change. And the peace is something we have to change within ourselves. There is something that is blocking us, or we need to learn or grow from, and we are not peaceful with that yet, right? If you're feeling pain and frustrations, or you're not where you're at. You guys understand what I'm talking about? Right? So when you're moving forward and your goal is here, and then you're experiencing this dip and you're wondering what's going on, it's really your something in the back of your mind is saying, I know I need to change, I want to change, but I haven't embraced this change yet. And the change is something that I do not know, because it's up to you guys. I know what I need to change. I need to be more patient. And I need to understand that, you know, people have their process, and I can't force that. No matter how influential I get, no matter how powerful I become in terms of being like the Tony Robbins, right, my goal, right? I cannot force upon change or even mindset to someone. I can only be an agent of influence. I can have meaningful conversations like this. I can, you know, do my best to be my better self. But when it comes to your guys' decision to make that change and embrace that, is on you. Right? Nobody can take that, and that's what makes life so meaningful. Cool? So I ask you guys, this is what I ask you guys, what is blocking you from getting there? Just one thing. You don't have to write this down, because this is personal, right? Because I can share with you guys a few things that I must change to get to the next level if you want. You know, there's the beautiful thing about this core leadership group that we have is that I've seen the journey from when they start and where they're at now, you know, and it's a beautiful journey, right? It's a beautiful journey because I see so much growth in the mentality and even their demeanor and their confidence level, and ultimately their finance have grown, right? I remember working with a guy that, you know, at 4 o'clock, he got a sale. He's happy with that. He don't want to go to the next door because he don't want anything to, you know, distract him for that happy moment that he had. So once he get a sell and it's 4 o'clock, he call it quits. He's like, I'm done. I'm gonna take this win. I'm gonna go to my car. I'll wait for you. Who do you think that is? Any guess?
Was it you?
That was Andy.
Oh, Andy. Oh.
Look, he got the shade on. Andy was like, I'll take this win. Peace out, Ken. Call me when you're done. I don't want to get nagged out. I got nagged out yesterday because I kept going and this customer told me no, and that was not good. Didn't feel good. Right? And here we are. That's our president, right? And look at how inspiring he is. You know, this is the same individual that would call me and nag out, like 2 in the morning, nag out. And I was like, now he's the source of our fire. He's the most motivational person on this call. Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, right? Nobody is perfect. But how many of you guys enjoy Andy flaming the meetings and giving his all to make sure we're fired up in the morning? Give him some love, guys.
Let's go.
Let's go, Andy. Let's go,
Tay. DJ Tay.
Right, and that's the change Andy must embrace. He must decide, or he's gonna be the one that complain and nag out and come to whoever he goes to vent, or he's gonna be the source of change. He's gonna be the one that's gonna motivate. I don't know how it works. I think God's working in a mysterious way. I feel like for some reason, the most weakest part of you, if you work on it, become the strongest part of you. Like, I truly believe that. And it becomes a testimony, and it becomes a power. You know, it's fascinating to me to see someone that nag out all the time, everything discourage him, to like being so resilient and the most positive. I think amazing. Right? Me, you know, I'm the best at making excuses. Like if there was a sales class on how to make excuses and why it's not my fault, I would win. Right? I'm like, give it to me, Mom, give it to me, Dad, tell me why it's my fault. No, it's not. It's your fault. Here's this, it's that. Son, it's my teacher. It's this, it's that. You know, and now I don't take any BS excuse from myself or anyone. That's a power that I harness through overcoming and embracing my weakness. I have to change that. I have to make a decision and say, look, do I want to keep blaming life for what happens in other people, or am I going to own that? Am I going to own it? Am I going to blame my parents for the rest of my life because they're not perfect? Am I going to blame my leader because he's not perfect? Or am I going to own it? You guys have to make that decision for yourself. What must you change to level up? Because I would like to spend the next 5 minutes to show you guys what's coming. But if we do not embrace the change and accept it and make a decision to move forward, it doesn't matter what I present to you, you won't take it. But for those of you guys that's willing to change and improve, right? And settle and kind of really kill your bad habits, whatever that is, or even your insecurity, and just suffocate it so that way new life can be brought to this opportunity, then we're gonna make a ton of money together and we're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of memories. You know, Vegas is like a goal that we want to set since 5 years ago. I mean, why not Dubai? You know, it's like, you know, I want to show you guys the world. You know, I'm like Aladdin, right? I want to be Aladdin anyway. That was something that I was trying to sing to my girl. It didn't work out too well, right? But, you know, life is awesome. I want to show you guys everything that we have to offer, right? So this exciting comes along the way, but I want to make sure I introduce it the right way. It comes with a price. And the price is a sacrifice of a bad habits that holds you back, a bad mentality that holds you back. You must let that go. Or you're gonna blame me for talking out of my butt, but it's not true. It's the fact is, that's the facts. It's up to you to embrace that. Does that make sense? The bigger the goal, the bigger the sacrifice. That's facts. Right? So, like, I'm not a, okay, I just end with that because I do not want to keep on talking about like what we sacrifice. It's kind of negative, but it is facts. I just need to point it out. How many of you guys are willing to do that? Honestly, wholeheartedly willing to sacrifice some bad habits to move forward, trade it for some new habits. Raise your hand. I'll start with me, right? Thank you guys. I'll start with me. One of the things that I need to do more is I need to be in front of you guys more, right? One of the sacrifices I have to make is I need to wake up earlier to plan better meetings for you guys. I want to be a source of that. So you get more of me on that area, right? And I want to be a source of these one-on-one conversations. You know, I love these meaningful one-on-one conversations because I love to see the growth. You know, it fires me up, to be honest. Not seeing you guys and not talking to you guys doesn't motivate me. I love talking to John and figure out what he really wants to do with his family, right? Buying food trucks for his mom, his in-laws, being the entrepreneur, mover, and shaker, being the true cornerstones for those around him. That conversation fired me up. You know, so I want to be more of that, okay? And I will commit to that, all right? So all the stuff I'm talking about here, what do you think is the most important thing that you can focus on? Because this is ultimately, you know, to be transparent with you guys, this is something that me, Andy, and the Leadership Core focus on, is getting you guys opportunity and things like that. But there's power in things you can control, right? What are the things that you can control that you must focus on if you were going to be a part of this opportunity and make the most of this? What is that?
Changing our bad habits, Ken. I think change into the positive light. I think that's the underlying message here.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's it. You guys got paid a price. And only you can do that. Like, you know, only you can. My parents, my friends, everybody's telling me, hey, Ken, you know, we love you, but when you drink, you get aggressive, man, sometimes, you know? And like, go overboard. I was like, but you know, are you sure? Are you sure? There's no other way? So I was like, all right, fine, you know, done. I'm gonna change that. And then all of a sudden, my savings doubled. Who knows why that caused me to save more money? I don't know. Maybe because I go crazy in Vegas when I'm drunk. I don't know. Maybe because there are no limits to how much I'll do to have fun when I'm buzzed. I don't know. But I paid the price, right? And also my relationship got richer with people I truly love. So that's the price I pay to level up. That's my price though, not yours. I'm not saying that's what you got to do. I'm saying in my situation, that was the price I had to pay. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, Ken.
So cash in, and you tell me, you tell yourself what you must let go to get more, okay? So that's my message for you guys. I'm really excited about the opportunity here. And my commitment to you guys is, you know, I'm a very loyal guy. You know, I have a lot of flaws and things like that. But one thing that you can have for me is loyalty. I'm faithful in the people that that's with me, right? Not that I need you guys to be with me. If you guys use this company as a stepping stone to better your life, that's what we're here for. But if we work long term together, you have my faith and commitment, and you have all the partners' commitment as well. Is that right, partners?
Yes, Ken.
All right, cool. So we are at a position right now that's like a crossroad, and the crossroad is going from a small company to a systematic, well-oiled sales organizations that will take over this industry. The word is already out. The clients are knocking on the doors. You know, I didn't really think that Dish was serious. And when they came out with that financial change, I was like, crap, like we're more powerful and stronger than I think. By we, I mean you guys. You guys are out there making it happen, making us look really good. I want to remind you guys how great you guys are. Don't let the result that is not being hit right now determine your worth. If you look back to how you've grown, that is a tell right there of how great you guys are. You guys understand? You're not going to hit every numbers you put out there, but as long as you keep on growing and you keep on fighting through with each other, we'll get there. Does that make sense, guys? Cool.
Yes,
So I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Let's take over.